Hey, everybody. Welcome to ExtraNormal Podcast. My name is Christoph. Alongside me is my wife, Brianna.
You said
hello. Nice to meet you.
It's
Wait, shut the fuck up.
the Mrs. Perry. No, I said Christoph. I'm going with Christoph. Like, I've decided this is...
You know, that's the only way I can get a hold of you. Like, we could be grocery shopping or just laying around the house, and he will not respond to me unless I call him Christoph.
Or the other. You have another name for me.
Dick fuck.
Yeah, you call me Dick fuck, which is flattering. That's your pet name.
He actually gets mad when I call him by his real name, Chris.
Well, because it's so serious. Like, so when you have like a... When you have all these fucking goofy ass pet names like we do for each other, we have Bubs and all this kind of shit.
Bubbies.
When you call someone by their real name, it's like that means that shit's going down. That means you're fucking pissed.
Yeah. So literally, even if I'm just like Chris, he's like, whoa. I like why? And I'm like, well, I don't really like your name either, but
I don't like my name.
My fault.
I really don't like my name. It's so fucking generic. It's so generic.
Brianna is now too, though. I laugh when I still get compliments on it. I'm like,
speaking of generics, alongside us is also Perry.
Hello.
Or brand person, Perry.
Hello.
Hey, we were talking before the show. You're going on a flight. You going someplace exciting?
You going on the fly?
You going on a plane?
I'm
going on that plane.
Going with my friend to the Dominican Republic.
What?
Ooh.
That's cool.
You have a friend?
I have one friend. Yeah.
That's good to know.
Chris used to be my friend. But
are you meeting that friend in the Dominican Republic?
What?
It's just the way you said that. You're like, my friend.
My friend. Are you embarrassed?
I know. He's not. I mean, I'm mad at him because that's beside the point.
So wait, you're mad. Hold on. You're mad at your friend, so you decided the best solution was to buy plane tickets to the Dominican Republic with him?
What has to do with the plane ticket?
Oh, okay. Oh, drama.
Yeah.
Oh.
Drama Rama.
Oh no. I want to know, but I don't know if I should know.
Oh no.
Anyways, yeah.
All right, so today's topic.
Shut up. I'm asking how my wife is.
You have to like warm up, Perry. You can't just like jump into it.
Okay. I'm sorry.
You're the producer.
Okay, I'm just trying to change the subject.
Truth.
Anyways, how am I doing?
How are you, Brianna?
Let's get back to everybody really cares, especially.
Yeah, how are you guys doing?
My two live people that are.
I don't think. Hold on. I don't think before we get into. I don't think
you don't care.
I've known Perry for a very long time. I think that might be the first time Perry's ever asked me how I'm doing.
Yeah, how are you guys doing?
That means it's really fake.
it's like we have a real Dominican Republic friendship.
He's like, how do we do this? I don't know.
And I'm just kidding. I have more than one friend. I have many friends.
Of course you do.
I have a lot of gamer friends.
And let me tell you.
From all over the world.
Friends.
From all over the world.
Yeah.
All those aren't true friends.
Okay, those are true friends. We're live on Twitch, everybody.
That's right. We're like the young kids now.
All your gamer friends aren't true friends.
How many?
All my Twitch friends are watching right now.
How many of those gamer friends
are watching on Twitch right now?
How many of them have been there for you when some shit's gone down?
But who cares? Is that like how many friends can you count on your
females are different than men, obviously.
Exactly.
Because like look at you and Perry are like a great example. You can go years without replying to each other's text messages. Well, I'm sure Perry would, but you don't. And you guys are like still cool. And like for females, like if my friends
is there an eye behind Perry staring at me? There's like one eye. Whose eye is that?
There's two.
I can't make out who that is. Is that Abraham Lincoln?
You got it.
Is it Abe?
Abe Lincoln. Yeah. It's Abe Lincoln.
You reptile?
Oh my gosh, you should have done like Steve Buscemi or something. That would have been better.
What?
It's just eyes staring at you.
Oh, Steve Buscemi. His eyes.
What do I call him? Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's the right name. That is the name of a person. Steve Buscemi. Anyways. All right.
I am fantastic. If anybody fucking cares.
I care. That's why I asked. Perry, I think Perry asked technically too, but whatever. Anyway, so what's the topic?
Go ahead, Perry.
So tonight's topics are
is this
fast food restaurants?
This is like the Tonight Show. The top list is...
you're being vague. Please elaborate.
Yeah, so fast food restaurants.
So we're talking about...
Have you been to a fast food restaurant? Do you really want to eat there? No. And I'm not talking about the quality of food. I'm talking about what lurks in the back kitchen.
So if the burgers don't fucking kill you, we digged into what might kill you otherwise at fast food restaurants. Fast food restaurants, we're going to be talking about. So just to put it in a headline, let's all put it in a headline. Yay, everybody. Look at me. We're going to be talking about all the kind of the fucked up shit that goes on in fast food restaurants. And there is a lot of fucked up shit. Besides the fact that if you're working an overnight shift and you make minimum wage, you're likely to be fucking robbed. So there's that. But if you dig deep in some of the fucking weird shit that happens in fast food restaurants, there's a lot of stuff. There's murders.
Whose phone is going off?
Sorry.
Oh.
I think it's people from my life.
Whoopsie.
Whoopsie.
Hey, Perry, did you see Mortal Kombat?
No, I don't know if I'm gonna see it.
It's good.
It's pretty cheesy, but that's okay.
I thought it was good.
Don't expect like fucking.
Where can you watch it on? Is there like a service or
official service is HBO Max?
HBO Max. Okay, that's where I saw it on.
Well,
I can't remember.
Don't expect a new theme song either, because they just kind of remixed it.
No, they shouldn't.
It's the same. It's a great
can't.
song.
Oh, they shouldn't. You can't. Yeah, you can't.
It just makes me want to put my rollerblades on and go to a skating rink.
Yeah. Did they play that when you went to skating rinks?
I would.
Mortal
Yeah,
Kombat?
in the
You
90s.
should, yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm sure they did.
Because you can request. I probably
Play the Mortal Kombat song.
We can't play it because it will be copyrighted.
I know, you're right. You're right. Stop.
And it was just starting them. Okay.
And the I feel like Instagram, you were talking about Instagram and YouTube and all those spaces, they've gotten a lot more fucking like, this is copyright.
Yeah, like
Copyright.
so I used to
That's not a word.
like within the last few months, I would make videos for my my Instagram for my business page on TikTok, because you're able to use like those songs, and then I would repost it on Facebook.
For your twerking.
And now they won't allow me to reuse those advertisements that I just used like a month ago, and I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, it's fucked. It's totally fucked. Like, yeah, no, it's.
And I have to use like dinky, weird, stupid music.
Look at like the generic like free music they give you.
Yeah.
Brianna, by the way, has a loose nail on the table. I don't know if anybody.
I just ripped it off.
Oh,
show it.
Oh, yeah. Let's get a close up of that. Oh, yeah, I imagine.
You
do that. They look like icicles. Is that the new fad? Is icicle? They look like icicles.
That's like the thing. Like you got to go flash with your.
It's like a stab.
How can you function with any like?
I can wipe my ass just fine. That's usually
shit in your fingernails.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna rip off another one right now.
No.
He hates it. Ready?
Oh, don't. Fucking sucks. It sucks.
Anyways,
haunted fucking McDonald's, right? Am I right? Did you look up some of these stories, Perry?
You didn't even. You guys both. Okay, so
tonight,
everybody,
I lived those stories.
Shut up. What we're really talking about tonight is haunted fast food restaurants.
Yeah.
If you didn't get that, because Perry just said restaurants.
No, because Chris started
loudmouth kept talking over you. Yeah, because that's usually what he does. So I just wanted to like get it out there, so you're like, ooh, intrigued. Let's talk more. Take it away, Christopher.
Do we want to rename the podcast "Loudmouth Keeps Talking Over You"? Because that's pretty appropriate.
That could just be the hashtag.
So we dug into this, and so the first one that you see when you go to websites, when you type in my Google, by the way, ever since I started this podcast, my Google searches have been all fucked up. Like it's just like Bigfoot and haunted fast food and parallel universes and like Krampus and bullshit like that. But the first thing, like almost all the lists have the McDonald's that is located in a city in the middle of Texas that is called Cuero, Texas. If you're listening in Cuero, Texas, welcome Cuero, Texas.
And call in. Please call in. If you have any,
if you live in Cuero, Texas,
just pretend you do.
Yeah, who the fuck cares? I'm not gonna call. I don't. You could say I don't know what the fuck is in Cuero, Texas besides a haunted McDonald's.
What's that number?
That number is 6 2 6.
He knows.
Yeah, he really knows. It's convincing.
626. Did you hear that? And 733-8256.
There we go.
Or you can
626.
DM us.
I don't think my live people. I think that's what's happening on my phone right now, but I'm live. So go ahead.
What? 626-733-8256 to call
I
in.
said,
Say you're from Cuero, Texas. Let us know how that haunted McDonald's is, because there is a haunted
and if
McDonald's.
you don't have a Texas accent, we're not
But
letting you in.
you can just call and tell us a really cool haunted story too. Like I'm down.
you-
In
to
a Texas accent.
Listen, if
Y'all come
the
back
the line is always open. If you worked in fast food and you have a fucked up story, I don't care what it is. If you shit in a burger,
Ooh.
if you got haunted by a ghost, if you got robbed, I'll take it all. I'll take it all. I want all your fucked up fast food stories because I'm living for it. But Cuero, Texas, there was a McDonald's that was before it was a gas station. And the story goes is that in the 60s, I believe, a mother was backing up from this gas station and she hit a speed bump.
And it was her child.
It was her kid. And so the one of the things is that the kid, you okay? You need a moment? You need to step away for a little bit?
Go ahead.
It was the 60s. That kid would have been,
What the fuck does that
well, the kid would have been like 70 now. He would have let it, so it's okay. Time
Oh my God.
plus
you
tragedy
mental
equals
fuck.
whatever. So and there was also apparently a mechanic died there too when it was a gas station, who allegedly was on the run from killing his son.
Did people see? Anybody say they saw the child?
So nobody said they seen the child, but a lot of people say so. One of the things I notice about a lot of these fast food hauntings, and of course, it's always like most of them are centered around the toilets. Like most of them, like the hauntings are in the bathrooms, which is pretty normal. I think every fast food restaurant, the
Terry,
hauntings are in the toilets.
Does it bother you that he says turlet instead of toilet? It really bothers
I say
me.
toilet, whatever.
He's not from wherever the fuck, Boston. Is that where they say that?
They say in Jersey.
Yeah.
When do you say it like that?
Exactly.
Exactly. And see, I don't say it like that. Anyway, so the toilets are haunted. They the employees will be in the middle of the night. They'll just hear random fucking flushing, which maybe they need to fix their toilets. Maybe that's the issue. But that's and I think they also,
or it could be a big shit because sometimes our toilet randomly like finishes flushing because it doesn't flush all the way, and then like 20 minutes later it'll be like.
You say we have a ghost toilet?
Well, I'm just saying that could be like it not really being.
Yeah,
gross.
I mean,
it could be just the toilet.
It could be. I mean, like I don't know. Why would you? Why would you haunt a fucking fast food restaurant? Let's get that before we go into more stories. Like
haunted burgers and fries.
Baseline is, why the fuck would you haunt a fast food restaurant? Like that is the shittiest.
Because if you're fucking Slimer, you're fucking hungry.
Okay. Do you think ghosts can eat?
No.
Harry, can we see your hands?
I mean, Slimer can.
See your hands. There's no foul play here. A Burger King. This is another fun one. There was a Burger King.
If you wait, I'm sorry. I hate to interrupt you.
No, you don't.
Talk over you.
You don't.
But if a ghost can have sex with you, then a ghost could eat your food.
If a ghost could have sex with it, a ghost could eat your
But
pussy.
does it turn into like ghost food, or does it just like float around in his belly? Like,
I would have, yeah.
Or does it fall through?
Ghosts can't taste anything, right? Can we?
Then how could they feel anything?
Do ghosts feel?
Well, if they're trying to bounce
Like if you poke a ghost, no, I think they're just fucking with you. Like they don't feel it; they're numb. It's like a dude who's just like had too much fucking.
So you think if he's a ghost male, he has a limp dick?
No, I think it's rock hard just to fuck with the person, like with whoever they're haunting.
Like poke him, stab him in the back, like
male or female. You know, they just.
Well, yeah. I kind of get that. So it's not actually like you physically has one. It's just like a extra paranormal like force, right? Like a gust of wind, but like
paranormal
shape
force
of a cylinder, like
I'm thinking more like a Ken doll, just like a.
No, because here's the thing: is like, what's the use then?
Yeah,
that's embarrassing.
You don't have to use it anymore.
Like, could you imagine just like, ooh, I'm a succubus or an incubus or whatever the phrase is. I'm gonna come and fuck you, and then
Literally.
then he gets there, and then like he's got a limp Ken dick.
Wait.
Like that's embarrassing.
Okay, does
for the
he
ghost.
finish or does he not finish? Or does
He
he
doesn't
just shoot
finish.
blanks?
He doesn't finish.
What if he
No.
wants to finish really bad?
Do you think the ghost lets you finish before he finishes?
I mean, most stories you hear the
Yeah.
female.
Yeah. I don't think there was any.
And then you have a hybrid ghost baby.
Do you think there's anybody claiming? There's got to be someone in this world who claims to have had a.
Yes.
There was a lady who had married the dead pirate. You know what I'm talking about? Have you heard this story, Perry?
There's no, she's a
You should
medium.
save it for another time.
No, we're not.
There's a medium and she connects to the other
I want
side.
to talk about the McDonald's Cuervo, Texas.
You want?
All right, Perry,
Did you say
take it
Cuervo
away.
or Cuero? It's Cuero. Oh,
Is it Cuero or Cuevo?
it's Cuero.
Okay.
I
go
mean,
ahead,
Texas, so like they're probably all like Cuero. So probably not pronounced that way.
Are you sure it's not Cuevo?
No, I'm looking at my notes.
Wait, does it? Yes. But when you read Spanish,
Cuero?
how it looks and how it sounds is completely different.
You know, there's a Burger King in West Palm Beach where apparently
I think Perry really wants to.
You want?
He sounds excited about McDonald's.
There's a few
really
McDonald's.
big McDonald's fan. So go ahead.
I was actually planning on
away.
going to the one in California. There's a
Coronado, the one in Coronado.
Yeah, Coronado. It's only in San Diego. It's not that far. It's like an hour and a half drive.
No,
I looked it up already.
You know, there's a haunted Walmart in Oxnard. Go ahead.
Perry wants to take
I know
it.
Coronado McDonald's. Go ahead, Perry.
Take the wheel.
So in Cuero.
Cuevo.
It's not Cuevo. It's not. It's just not.
Cuero.
We're fucking around.
Cuero, Texas.
We might get booted off of YouTube for this. Not the fucking music content. Go ahead.
So in Cuero, Texas, 3 employees were finishing up for the night, cleaning up, and one of the coworkers came and to check up on them. I guess he happened to be in the area.
Mm-hmm.
When he showed up, everything was still like everything was open, not locked up. Lights were on, whatever. But there was nobody around. They were all gone.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens is they search for them. No one hears from them, and about 20 days later, they call off the search because they find them in the mountains, all dead.
Is that
shot? Some were shot. I don't know if this is the right.
You're not talking about kids. You're talking about they were.
I'm talking about
all the live people watching. There's somebody you can't hear.
Someone who can't tell
on here, and he's telling a story
Cuero and Speedway, Indiana.
That is not accurate, and that was a waste of time. I'm
There's no mountains in Texas.
Well, here's the thing. There is a story similar to that. We're going to jump off the haunting train and go.
No, but the one I'm talking about, it's a different place. It happened.
There's a place called Burger Chef in Speedway, Indiana, and I believe in the late 70s, 1978. 4 kids. I mean, they're fucking teenagers and young adults. So I call them kids. But 4 employees closed up for the night. There's 4 on the duty, and when they had the night shift, and everybody assumed they closed up shop and everything. And when the person calling, I think someone called to ask if they needed help, like wanted to help them clean up and stuff like that. It's probably just friends like let me fuck around too at the same place. When that person showed up, they were gone. Door was open, lights were on, nothing was fucking cleaned. And so they were just like, what the fuck happened? And I guess apparently the town folk, the fucking police in Speedway, Indiana, God love Indiana.
His grandpa was from there.
I'm not a fan of Indiana. Don't get me wrong. But if you're from Indiana, call in. You're from Speedway, Indiana. So the police were like, well, I guess they just took off. And so and this is like true crime 101, what not to do. The police were like, okay, let's all move on. Well, eventually they turn up, and they fucking cleaned out the whole fast food burger chef. Like destroyed any evidence essentially that they had. And I believe 2 months later, they found all 4 bodies I think on a hill. And it's been an unsolved murder ever since because
Wow, that's completely crazy. Like that
disappeared.
You can't even,
There's no trace of them. There's
Yeah.
no sign of robbery or anything like that. The 4 people they were shutting down shop and they just disappeared. Go ahead.
I have a
Do you have a real life burger? Do you have a real life burger horror story?
I have an assumption what might have
Or
happened.
howdy do you?
Abduction. Just saying.
But what happened? They found their bodies. Do you think the aliens
They abducted them?
Uh-huh.
And then when they were done with them, they brought it back.
And just dumped them.
I mean, they were done.
I think that would be a rare thing though, too, because everybody who says they've been abducted, they get taken for a while and then they get dropped off in the woods alive. They don't get dropped off.
Depending on which extraterrestrial took them.
There's like a murderous extraterrestrial group.
Well, I'm sure they used them for something.
Wow.
They just want a free hamburger.
Maybe by the
That
time
was their burger
by the
chef.
time they brought them back to land, they were so weak from whatever sucking.
No, I think they were like
torturing, mutilated.
I think they were they were in bad shape.
Like Eden.
I thought you were gonna say maybe a ghost possessed them.
Maybe.
But then they died.
Yeah, they killed themselves.
You think so? Yeah. Well, they planted a tree for them back, I think, in 2018 or something like that. So that's nice. Getting back to the hauntings.
We have the best visitor on our show.
Oh,
sorry,
God.
Perry, it's not you.
Did you guys know that in at a Burger King in West Palm Beach in Florida, there's apparently a ghost who's a little fucking trickster, and he shows up, and apparently there was a janitor who he just shows up as an apparition, and he doesn't do much besides just like a janitor. A few times a janitor had to chase this ghost, and he just disappeared, and that's the end of the West Palm Beach Burger King story. That's exciting, right?
So, going back to what do you say? Indiana is where the unsolved mystery was, or was that?
So West Palm Beach is where the ghost,
the unsolved mystery.
He fools a little janitor. He does a little trickster on the janitor, and he disappears. He's like a little Casper.
No, the other one.
The dead teenagers. Yeah, that's in Speedway, Indiana.
Okay,
late 70s.
I feel like
Uh-huh.
They might have done drugs and got caught up.
They might have done drugs in the late 70s at a fast food restaurant. You think?
Yeah. Well, no, I'm trying to solve the mystery. They might have done drugs. Got
this is like a Netflix.
Got wild, trying to I don't know, made a deal with the devil, didn't realize it, and their bodies go missing.
And the devil got his cheeseburger.
Sure.
Wait, you think the devil was involved?
No, I'm just saying, maybe some fucking crazy ass guy was in there, saw them all I don't know, strung out. Was like, hey man, I got some good shit at my house. Come to my house. Fucking.
Oh, that could have been
mutilated them, killed all them, and then
that's how John Wayne Gacy got away with all this shit. He lured teenagers to be like, I got drugs, everybody, and he put them. But I really like
the UFO story better. I'm just saying
it's a lot more interesting. I mean, we could go there. Why not?
Anyways,
what about this? What about the ghost in khakis in Starbucks in Hawaii?
Khakis.
Yeah, there's a ghost that wears fucking khakis.
Oh, he's probably your favorite ghost.
He's not my favorite ghost. There's a different favorite ghost. That ghost is the ghost. So there's also moving on from that because it's just a ghost wearing fucking khakis in Hawaii. It's boring. And he turns off. Apparently, there's a ghost that turns off the music at 10:51 every night at the Starbucks.
In Hawaii.
Mm-hmm. So
fuck, that's pretty chill. Especially if I was
if I was an employee, I'd be like, thanks for the help.
If I was a local Hawaiian that passed away, I'd be fucking haunting all them white people. Fuck that.
The Starbucks.
Don't they have a huge Mormon population?
Don't know.
On Hawaii?
Don't know.
On Hawaii.
Look in
Hawaii? Yeah, I'm almost 100%. They're the ones who back up them doing all of like their rituals, festivals, the hula and all that kind of the ceremonies. They like pay for them to go to school and all that to kind of keep it alive for all the people coming over to watch them.
Oh, really?
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that
You
there's a Taco Bell that's haunted in Twinburg with 4 ghosts. There's 4 ghosts in one Taco Bell, and
Where
one
is
of
this
these
at?
in Twinsburg, Ohio, and one of these fucking ghosts, is apparently an old timey Taco Bell employee who apparently helps fucking mop the floors and helps cook the food and shit like that. Like it's just
so he's a Casper.
He's like a Casper. He's like a real
Like
friendly ghost. Just that, yeah, that's crazy. Pizza Hut in New York, man was murdered or committed suicide in the bathroom. Bathroom's been haunted ever since.
How did he die?
People, could you imagine? So think about this world that you're.
How did he die?
They don't know. It's like a mystery. I think it's a little bit of an urban legend, but apparently the employees like and their night shifts. Could you imagine? Like you're like one of maybe 2 or 3 employees, right? And you're done with a shift. You've been holding in a shit forever because you're just sloshing off like fucking.
That would be you.
Yeah, you're just
Wanting
fucking
to wait till you get home to
scooping
poop.
pizza sauce for the last 8 hours, and you finally get to take a shit. You sit down, and you start hearing someone fucking whisper to you. You're basically all alone.
What are they whispering?
I don't know what they whisper. Just like, hey, what are you doing? How was the shift? How you doing?
How was your shit?
How was your shit? Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. And there's also
Perry, you have anything to add?
Yeah. Okay, so talking about that.
Just talk over Chris. It's okay.
What do ghosts eat for supper?
They don't eat. Are we telling
Spaghetti. Spaghetti.
Spook-getti. Spook-getti. It's the kind of quality you're in for. Spook-getti.
They just want a little spaghetti. That's all they want.
Oh, good times. Did you know there's a guy who's haunting a McDonald's that used to be a Freemason building?
Nice.
Just waiting for Freemasons to come back to fucking fuck with them.
No way.
Apparently,
says who?
There's a guy in Lewiston, New York. There's all these fun names of town. There's a lot of fun names of towns across America. If you know a fun name of a town across America, please call in. If you live in a fun town name like Lewiston or Cuero,
This is X.
This is
Oh, that's the road. Just kidding.
That's just the road. There might be a town. It might technically be a town.
626
733-8256 626-733-8256 to let us know how you feel about that. Did you hear about that? There's also a McDonald's in, I believe, Vancouver. That's a floating ghost ship of a McDonald's.
What?
Yeah, there was a fair that excuse me, a fair that went on, I believe, in the 90s, and so they built basically a floating fucking McDonald's there.
What was that?
And it lasted like 2 months, and then after that, they're just like, okay, we're done with it. Let's just send it off to sea. And so, like, floating the seas is just a ghost ship McDonald's. It's abandoned. Let's look up videos.
I don't believe that.
Where is it at?
I think someone might have purchased it.
Okay, that sounds like.
Can we take a Duffy there? Or is it like just wandering? They have to have it anchored somewhere.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy.
This is it.
No way.
I'm gonna pull it up.
We'll share this on our Instagram. So you guys can check out.
Yeah, especially for the people audio. So there's this fucking just.
Did they show the inside?
Yeah, there's the inside.
Why? Someone would have bought that. I don't understand. No way.
Yeah, it's creepy.
Oh my god. Somebody's got to live there.
Well, I think apparently the person who bought it is planning on using it for a homeless shelter.
What?
Put him out in the middle of the water? Leave him to die? He's going to feed him? McDonald's?
I know. Let's see.
That's wild.
Ba-da-da-da-da-da.
Like
That is wild.
Perry, any
They
stories?
should.
Any haunting stories
You have a haunting stories?
from fast food restaurants?
Well, yeah, I got one.
Not enough.
So, there's this restaurant. I can't remember the name of it. It's a Chinese food
Spaghetti.
restaurant. It's not a fast food restaurant, but it's a Chinese restaurant.
Uh-huh.
Apparently, every time you go there, people like have the urge just to fucking throw up.
I heard about this spot.
Oh my god.
I heard about this. This is true. This is a real
Yeah.
spot.
They
Beware.
say it's the first owner.
The ghosts of not wanting to pay your bill.
It's the MSG.
It's MSG. You know, I saw like not to get derailed, but we're gonna get derailed. I've heard a million times now, like in the past year and a half, that MSG is not that bad for you.
It's just what it is.
It's
Is
not
it's,
bad
it's
for you.
extra seasoning. It's like over seasoning your food.
It's just some people have a reaction to it. That's it.
Perry,
Some people don't.
you use MSG in your food because you're Asian? Is that
Oh
like
yeah, for sure.
No, do you really? Like, do you cook? Do you cook?
Yeah, I just buy the MSG, like the Sam's Club MSG, just throw it all in there.
Yeah.
The family size.
Perry,
I
do you-
just heard it's a thing.
So for context, Perry, you are half Thai, right?
Yes.
Are we
Well,
going with that?
Well,
My dad's from Thailand.
Your
but,
dad's from Thailand, but he's not. Is he not Thai?
I mean, it's a little bit of a melting pot from what I've seen.
Got it.
I could be like Indian, like from India. too.
Okay.
oh, you and Chris might be cousins.
We might be. I'm gonna edit that out because that's offensive to probably some
Why
people.
is that offensive? You're part Indian.
But you guys might be cousins. A little
Because
bit.
anytime you assume anything nowadays, it's offensive.
It is offensive.
Sorry.
Anyway,
Well,
sorry. Do you cook? Do you
when
cook
I
Thai
go to
food, Perry?
Italy, I assume that I'm
No, I should though. It's just easier just to buy it. But if you really want good Thai food, you have to go to LA, Los Angeles. LA is where it's at.
Los Angeles.
Yeah,
Never-
LA.
Never
The
been.
one place that was like the legit most place is no longer, but supposedly they reopened somewhere down the street, like on Chapman or
We
Chapman.
go to this awesome vegan Thai restaurant called Bulan. It was right on Melrose.
Yeah,
was
it's in
really
LA.
good.
Okay. Sorry, I went down
Pretty
this road.
delicious.
I'm really sorry I went
If you
down this
guys are
road.
in LA area, go to Bulan. Hopefully it's still there.
Go to Bulan. It's everything.
There's
I
a great
just-
Mai Tai right down the
Tell them
street.
Brianna sent you. You get 10% off your bill.
I just assume nowadays. Like my default assumption for like sit down spots, like fast food spots, are always. They seem like they're all still open, but my default for everything else, I just assume that everything, like every mom and pop, like especially restaurants, and shit, I just assume it's fucking closed. That's my default position, and if it's still open, I'm like, oh great, that's awesome. But with COVID and all that shit, I just assume it's closed. And
And
Perry looks
that's
like
really
he's having a
sad.
hole in his face now.
Yeah. Oh. Okay.
Fun.
Moving right along.
That's fun. Moving right. Hey, did you hear about? So apparently in McDonald's in Mexico, there's a bench where there is a old Ronald McDonald statue right in front of that McDonald's, and there were two fine young Mexican lads who were getting late night eats, and they went to get burgers, and they were eating their Big Macs on the bench, and they finished them, and apparently one of the fellas who was a little bit too tipsy put his head on the lap of this Ronald McDonald statue, and the Ronald McDonald statue looked down at him apparently, and he said something to him. Let me find out what he said.
Like, get your head off.
Yeah, he said, "I'm tired. Aren't you tired?" or something like
He
that.
said it to more than one person.
To that one guy, and they headed home, and apparently after that fact, one of them died. One of them died right after that, and the other one died.
Oh
shortly
yeah, I
after.
heard about that.
Like for me, like if I was that drunk dude and a statue, like sometimes your mind plays tricks on you. You get like weird apparitions and things happen sometimes when you had
Yeah.
too much to drink.
Start cracking up.
And probably if you've had a fucking Big Mac, because you know what fucking nasty ass shit's in that food.
Yeah.
So, but for them to die afterwards, like to me, I'm like, that's some fucking crazy shit. Like, did this spirit kill them? Like, did he poison their food? What like why? Did anybody else at that same time? Did they eat the food? Was something wrong with the food? You know, like that's how I would want to investigate. Were the only two victims that died shortly after this? Because that could have been some kind of crazy like food poisoning that they didn't know that they had. But I don't know. That's fucking crazy.
Can you die from food poisoning though?
Well, if it's like like salmonella or like maybe they didn't go to the doctors, they just thought they had the flu or something. They kept getting worse.
But they died that night.
That was it that night? I thought you said
Yeah.
it was like soon after.
I think
don't
one
know.
died that
What
night
does
and the
soon
other one-
after mean? Right then and there? The next day? 2 days from now?
Who knows?
Ooh.
Yeah, it's nuts. Yeah, there's a lot. Like if you look at and just the nature of all like the weird shit that goes on in fast food restaurants and all that stuff, like it's not surprising that they're haunted, and it's not surprising that people see shit because if you're working the late shift, you're maybe there. Like I said, there's maybe like 2 or 3 of you there in a dark ass fucking, and like if you look at fast food restaurants and you imagine them like pretty empty and at night with the lights off, like they're not the most settling places.
Mhm.
Like unless you're at a Chick-fil-A, I imagine those. It's just God shining down even at all hours if you're at a Chick-fil-A.
I thought there was a haunted Chick-fil-A too.
Is there a haunted Chick-fil-A?
Yeah,
Huh.
I thought I saw one.
What about Wendy's? Is there
maybe-
a haunted Wendy's?
Chicken place, but I don't know.
Or Wiener Schnitzel. There should be a haunted
There's
Wiener
no
Schnitzel.
haunted Wendy's. Don't
Yeah,
besmirch
no one,
Wiener
they don't
Schnitzel.
waste their time with that place. Come on.
That's true.
Did you hear about apparently there was a fast food killer in 1997
Oh.
by a man by the name of Paul Dennis Reed Jr. Paul Dennis Reed Sr. didn't do a great job. Was a former employee of a Nashville era Shoney's. Shoney's is a chain restaurant all over the southeast, I believe. But in 1997, this Paul Dennis Reed Jr. got fired because he hurled a plate at one of his fellow employees. Like he got upset for something, so he just chucked a plate at an employee. So like, yeah, we got to fire you. I think we got to fire you. After that, he decided to go on a killing spree, and he killed 7 people, all based off of fast food. Like he hit like you worked for fast food, he was after you. He didn't like go after.
Like he was like, you want to put shit in your body? I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah,
I'm gonna treat you like shit.
pretty much. Like he killed.
I wonder how many people stopped eating fast food after that.
Nobody stopped eating fast food after that. Nobody cares. Still eat it.
Yeah, it's crazy because like we've been never to like a fast food haunted restaurant, but we've been to like sit down restaurants that are haunted. So I think this is a good topic because it's really interesting to even think that there's fast food restaurants that are haunted.
Oh yeah.
You know, but
Yeah.
like for me, it's like more like how we've gone to like New Orleans and what was the name? Brennan's
is supposed to be.
Yeah. I remember we went in and I was like, take us. We want to sit.
Wasn't like
We want to
80%
sit
of
in the
New Orleans
room
supposedly
where the
haunted?
guy honked him.
Whoa!
might have honked himself.
Take me to that restaurant. I want to go where the guy honked himself.
He hung himself, and I remember like I was like I had you take a picture of me right underneath the chandelier where they found his body, and that was like fucking
We did,
crazy.
and we did for full transparency. We didn't see, and there was no aspiration.
But we did talk to
apparition or
like some of the employees, and they did say that there definitely was.
yeah, because they're told to
hauntings
say that.
going on
Like they're paid to
think
say that.
so?
Like it's part of the employee
there. I
handbook.
don't know.
You must say that there's
No,
ghosts
that's
here.
not true.
Mhm.
That is not true.
Mhm. There's certain places, like I believe that places have weird auras, and there's definitely places where people see some shit. But I believe also there's, like, for instance, I think we've talked about few episodes. We talked about the Winchester Mansion. I feel like
Yeah.
the employees are told, like, hey, let's spoof up like the whole haunting thing. Let's
Homegirl,
really
homegirl was just fucking.
Yeah,
batshit
I'm
crazy.
sure they're like what you call it, how you tell them how they're told to say it.
that was the most beautiful.
Perry.
How they're told to say it, like I don't know how to say it, but they probably have like a chart saying like, "Oh, we're down 10% on telling people."
Oh yeah,
No.
yeah. No, there's your performance review is based on how many times you say you saw.
Yeah,
something.
we've only heard you say it, 10 times in the last week. Can you say it a couple? We need you to double that or something.
Jump a few more times. Yeah. Can you look a
Yeah.
little chilled something more often, please? Thank you.
They do that. I got a third job at Petco, and they keep a performance thing on how many times you've signed up people for their rewards,
Got it.
stuff like that. They probably do the same thing over there.
Perry.
They don't make you talk about ghosts at Petco or anything. They don't have a performance review based on that.
I should find out if that place is
You
haunted.
should just, you know what?
I'm sure there's like a lot of like dead, like goldfish, like and like hamsters and
So
stuff.
Perry, is this a
Ghost
current gig? Is this a
hamsters.
current gig
Yeah.
or a past gig? Is this current?
What?
Is this a current gig or a past gig?
It's current right now.
Current. So I want you to next day at work, whenever that is, I want you to start talking about ghosts. Like, hey, we have this Petco rewards program. It's all great. Like you get points for whatever. But also, did you know that there's a ghost in the
And
goldfish?
for every $100 you spend, our dead goldfish comes in, or the ghostfish
Ghost
the ghostfish comes and visits you. You get to take a picture with him.
Tell him that the ghost fish walks at midnight, or should we say swim?
That would be the most. If you somehow jazzed up a fucking haunted Petco, can you imagine how busy that Petco would be? It'd be like that Petco would be insta famous.
Which one do you work at? So we can come harass you, and all of our.
Park.
I'll be like, hey, sir, I saw a ghost in aisle 5. Sir, don't ignore me. I saw
Oh
a
wait,
ghost.
no, that
in
was just Perry.
You want to see a ghost?
Oh no.
I'm gonna
You want to
definitely
see a ghost?
pale.
Now you're really blending into your background.
It's just an extra wrinkle, right? You actually pretty much match the skin tone of Abe. You're
Abe's
Abe
actually
Lincoln.
darker than you.
He's got a better tan than you, buddy. Abe got a little sunshine.
I'm with Abe Lincoln's nose.
Your nipples are like freckles.
If only Abe would have got more sunshine and not went into that theater, though, he'd be fine. No, Abe Lincoln, why?
Who's a vampire slayer?
Do you think?
Don't even get me started.
Is there any conspiracies about Abe Lincoln? Was he supposedly an Illuminati?
Little.
Was he a lollipop?
I mean, speaking of food, though, this isn't a fast food restaurant, but apparently people in Poland, a woman spotted like something in the tree. It was like some kind of weird new animal, they thought.
Recently?
Yeah. It was in April 16th. Spotted a new animal and had the whole neighborhood, I guess, was kind of like baffled by it and they'd never seen it before. And here, let me show you a picture of it real quick. Okay, don't show these tips again.
Hey, did you know, Brianna? I think I forwarded you on an article. Did you know that a family, I think back in the East Coast, is suing a fair because their son died over a taco eating contest?
Oh, I heard about that.
Did
We
you hear
have to
about that?
talk about that. It has nothing to do with.
Did he choke
Do you
to
think
death?
he's haunting the fair?
He choked to death, or did he get?
I
sick?
hope he
choked to death.
does.
You hope
You hope he choked to death?
I hope
Fuck.
no. I hope he already
God,
did choke to
fuck
death.
up.
I hope he's haunting the fair.
But if he's haunting the fair, he's literally.
But
for-
he's the one who signed up for that.
I know. For 362 days out of the year, if this man's really haunting for 362 days out of the year, he's just haunting a park, right? Or an empty parking lot. Do you think there's any ghosts that are haunting parking lots? There's got to be, right? Like when you're going
Parking lot?
from the gig at McDonald's like to your car at night, there's like a parking lot ghost. Are parking lot ghosts a thing? Because if we could believe in the premise of like Indian burial grounds and shit like that, and just like areas being completely haunted. Okay, babes, you ready for the payoff? Here we go. Here is the animal that everybody was
I'm gonna show you.
freaking out over.
Where is it?
You ready?
What is that?
Okay, we're gonna give up the bag here because
Oh
it's a croissant. It's a fucking croissant. It's just a goddamn croissant.
Perry. It's making me hungry.
Hello?
Why?
Why what?
Why the croissant?
What are you talking about?
We already did it. It's a fucking croissant. God damn it.
We want like real, like
We want so
real stories.
we are this is news to the other two people who are literally, one's by my side, the other one I'm staring at right now. This is news to I am going to plan on hopefully procuring a black box theater to maybe get your ghost stories in. We're gonna have maybe a live thing going on to get your ghost stories in. So if you have any ghost stories and you're a fan, you're a listener, and you're a friend of ours, load that up because we might have a live event coming
We
up.
have the amazing Mr. Big Sandy right here. Like,
Oh,
I'm
wow.
so honored
Fan of music.
to be in your presence. And if you're listening to our rambling of ghosts,
all 35 episodes of it.
wonderful ghost stories. Mostly, I mean, I like to talk about extraterrestrials.
I do too.
I like ghost stuff too. Obviously,
I think that the split is like, I think I'm a bigger fan of ghost stuff. I like the spookies.
I think
and you like the ETs more.
Well, I think what's really studying and doing research about extraterrestrials, that's why I get a lot of speculations that sometimes these hauntings are actual extraterrestrials visiting us from other dimensions.
Well, you could also, especially with like the parallel universe theory, where like, oh, aliens are just coming across, like jumping through parallel universes, whatever. Like, it makes sense. It might be just like a weird. Do you think there's any aliens that are in essentially that are in the form in which they would be their natural form, like they would be confused as ghosts? Like, is there, like, for lack of a better phrase, I'm gonna butcher it, but is there any like fucking steam ghosts? Like, are any like alien
Like
life
steampunk?
forms like in the form of gas or something like that would make it look like an alien, like an apparition?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think there could be extraterrestrials that are like that. for
Awesome.
Sure. I think that those ones can usually take the form, or they can like how you hear like ghosts can what's the word, like transcend
Yeah.
into your body and you become possessed.
Mm-hmm.
What if that was just an extraterrestrial doing that and he was the foggy ghost or smoke stuff and he just was like embodied
It's
inside?
not a ghost, it's an alien.
Yeah. Like that's where I like think that it's a possibility. That, I mean, think about all the creatures that live on the earth that we don't know about, all the different species.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the universe. So
I mean,
there could be so
Maybe
many.
it's like that one Venom from Marvel, where it's like the
like a
Yeah.
symbiotic suit type
Yeah.
of thing.
symbiote. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I pulled that out.
Yeah.
Symbiotic
I like
suit.
that.
Yeah.
The only reason why you like that is because it's a Marvel.
Yeah.
He's like, oh,
Fair
I'm
enough.
like, let me peek out now.
Wow. Did someone
Okay.
say Marvel? Wow.
Before he was like, I don't agree with you, but now that you brought in,
I never
the
said I
comic
didn't agree with
books-
him. I agree with everybody. I love everybody. It's a beautiful world. I got a question for you,
For who?
for both of you. Let me start out with you, since you're closest to me and closest to my heart. Sorry, Perry.
You know Perry longer though.
Who cares? I've also known my parents longer, and I'm not closer to them. So,
Can we talk about what we were talking about?
yeah, Brianna's convinced that my father's a serial killer. So, what I was going to ask you, which the saddest part of that, Perry, is that my honest reaction was like, oh, I could see it.
I openly was like, look, like I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to talk
But
bad.
your father's a serial killer.
But I said honestly, like when I tell you that, and if you ever found out that your dad did kill somebody or killed multiple people, would you be surprised? And he was like, he paused for a second. He was like, not really. And so so I'm not saying stuff just to be a bitch.
I'm not saying that I think he is. I'm just saying that
Right.
he has certain characters where he's kind of out of touch with, like, he doesn't read people well. Like, he has these weird serial killer
like
characters.
for in this awkward situation, I'm just grocery shopping, like grabbing my stuff, and I was grabbing I was like, oh, there's like strawberries, but they were like chocolate covers. Like, oh, Clementine's gonna love these. I'm gonna surprise her, brings them home. But they were like seeping with like, I don't know if that was the chocolate, but they were sticky and gross. So I was like, oh, so I was like putting them back, and I didn't know what to wipe my hands on. All of a sudden, and COVID, we're supposed to keep our distance, be respectful. This guy comes up, and mind you, it's not like I was in the only area where there were strawberries. There's this whole like area next to me. He comes right and takes the strawberries literally right next to my hands. And I kind of like looked over, like, because I didn't want to be like get the fuck out of my way. But I kind of like looked over, kind of like, like, hey, space. And he just grabs him, he walks
His name's
away.
not Space.
And I was like, I look at him and I look at this man, and his hair's like, and he's wearing this off-white shirt that looks like kind of torn and dirty and wrinkled. And I was like, is that guy homeless? He's either homeless or he's Chris's dad. And he was Chris's dad.
That's the best game show.
So
homeless or Chris's dad.
So at that moment I go, oh my God, what was that about? And so I just went about my business, and now I'm like feeling like I'm being watched, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I go, so I'm like all the way on the other side. From there, I went to all the way to the corner. So I come down and I come up one of these aisles, and from all the way across the grocery store, he's staring at me. He was waiting for me to come out of the aisle, and he's just staring at me. And I was just like, okay. And I just like, go back down the aisle. I come around the aisle. He fucking meets me right there. And I was like, Jesus. And so I was like, hi, Michael, how are you? And he's like, my
dad's name is Michael.
And he
should use a different name for
Ted. So then he's like, well, he's like, oh yeah, like my wife needs, and just like so awkward, not like, how are you doing? It's just like he goes right to like why he needed to talk to me. My wife needs this from you. Can you give it to her? Text it to her. Okay, have a good day. Oh, by the way, he did
say have a good day. Did he say have a good day?
No.
Oh, so yeah.
But he was like, I like your outfit. You look like you're a biker. And he's like, all you need is a motorcycle. And I was like,
that's a good compliment. I like this guy. Who is this guy?
And I was like, your father.
Okay.
And I was like, it was just so uncomfortable. And then I go to check out, and he's behind me, and he's like watching, and he's just like his eyes. And I just was like, I started telling my friends after that, I was like, y'all, like, if I go missing, I'm just saying. I am just saying. Anyways, serial killer potential.
Potential serial killer. Yes, he has those tendencies. I completely lost my train of thought because you.
Sorry.
I don't know.
Tangent. I think you were gonna go into another tangent. You had something that you wanted.
I was going to ask you a question. I have a question.
Go ahead.
I have a very, very, very serious question. On average, how many ghosts? Well, give me a ballpark of how many ghosts you think are floating around in this world. Do you think it's in the thousands, in the millions?
Again, like
I'm not talking about alien confusion.
But it's confusing to me.
It's confusing to me too.
Because what if ghosts are just in other dimensions, other realms here but not here? It's like,
okay. Let's keep it simple. I don't want you to stress out over this. Please don't stress out. Let's bulk in. Let's group in all the like. This is like, it might be an alien, but it's like most people would categorize it as a ghost.
Okay.
Whatever. How many of those? Trillions?
Mm-hmm. If you're talking worldwide
of like a ghost hanging out.
What's our population? How many people are on
billions?
this world?
9 billion, 10 billion, something like that.
Yeah, but think about like over the years, all the people that have died.
But I know that. But do you think everybody who's died is like a ghost in some form?
I mean, maybe like Dias de los Muertos. Maybe there's a point in time where people can come back to visit.
So if you die, you have at the very least, you're saying you have a passport to come back every once in a while. Like if your family members piss you off, you can like check them back in line.
No, I think you can definitely come back and visit.
I feel like for like most people, I feel like most people would think that there's a grace period, like because a lot of people when they see like family members as ghosts, like everybody talks about like old timey ghosts, but one of the biggest things for like people seeing the stuff is like Nana just died, and I saw her like a couple days later, and then I haven't seen her since. Like,
Oh my!
do you think there's like a grace period of like when you die and when you're like? I think we already kind of touched on
Well,
this.
my
like
grandpa died. He died what, a year or two before we got married? No, like a year.
Something like that.
Like,
before we got married, though.
Yeah, and I remember right before we got married, I was crying and thinking about him, and praying to God about him. And that night, I had dreamed about him. He was sitting in the chair he always sat in, but he looked healthier. And it was just me wondering where he was and if he was okay. And only thing he said, and it was like I was watching him, like if a camera's watching in the corner of a room, and I'm watching him in his chair, and he just was like not looking at me or anything, but he just like he's sitting there, and he's just like, I'm doing okay, and that was it. I woke up.
I had a dream about my grandma too.
Did you really? Did you?
What was it? Were you thinking about her? Was she like heavy on your heart? Like,
yeah.
the time? What happened?
She was in the hospital she was doing really bad. Yeah, so she was in the hospital and she was really sick. And like it was kind of like, yeah, she's not gonna make it. And I ended up not being able to go visit her. I was feeling really guilty. And then like she ended up passing away. And then I think the next night I had a dream and we were together at we were just somewhere. We were just visiting and talking, and basically she just was like, forgive, she said, don't worry about not coming to see me. And
Oh, I have goosebumps.
Yeah. Have you seen her since that? Like in any dream form and any?
No, I haven't actually.
So that was
sweet.
That was like a send off. Like I wonder, like, because we've had this conversation if a soul in a body, even after it's dead, has an expiration date, and if there's a time limit for when whatever happens, if a soul is believed in,
Well, I was raised Catholic, so for some people you would say purgatory, and so for those souls like waiting for their judgment, their sins or whatever, if purgatory is really a thing, like this could be them. There could be like just lost souls like waiting their time here, like putting in the time until they get to go,
Is that the theory? Like what is it when you
it's like a waiting room. It's like, like Beetlejuice.
So in theory, like everybody thinks of like, at least from an outsider's perspective, is that like hell is a basement and heaven is the sky, right? So where is purgatory?
In between.
Where's purgatory?
It's in between.
But is it like in a nether realm, like in the like?
Some would say Earth is purgatory because we're in the middle.
Caught in the middle.
But I mean, from what I've been raised, if anybody's Catholic and wants to call in and
talk let me know, because I don't know.
But yeah, it's like this like waiting, like you're waiting for your judgment, basically. So you know how people like are always like, oh, I have a date with the devil and live life.
Who really says that though?
Like, just like it's just people try to
not
be
just
cute on
action
Instagram,
movies. Okay.
like oh, like, or like Lady Gaga will be like Jesus is my virtue, that song, and but Judas is the one that I cling to, basically, like I'm more of a sinner, which we're all sinners. But so it's just like what it says in the Bible is that like if you try to live as a good person, do good things, you get like more crowns when you go to heaven. Those crowns aren't for you to wear.
That's nice.
Those crowns are like a ranking.
You get an extra accessory.
It's kind of like Hinduism. What do they call it? Like
like a caste system.
Like,
hold on.
No, I mean that's
no. This is not true. The Catholicism is not like a video game where you get like extra lives.
Like when I say like not points. Caste system, but like but see the people that are living down here, like they don't have the recollection that the people with the more crosses are more less sinning and gotten more crowns, that they're like a little bit above them. Like, so maybe I don't know. Like I don't know how to really
So let's put it this way.
This
So
is what I've
So say
read.
you're like in the grand scheme of you're like a serial killer who repents and accepts God. You're gonna have like a little room, like a little apartment in heaven. But if you're like Mother Teresa, you get like access to like the rec room,
Exactly.
the gym.
Exactly.
You get like an extra TV. And
so
stuff
we're
like
all
that.
his children, whether we kill people, commit
Just get a
adultery,
shittier room if you
do horrible things.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to accept you. And when you're there, you're not going to look at other people like, oh, they have it better than me. Like you're going to look at everybody as being.
So you're gonna
equal.
appreciate your shitty apartment.
So it's kind of like that's why you're supposed to do the best deeds you can to get that. And then I don't know if that means you're stuck in purgatory for longer. I'm not sure.
Well, this has gotten deeper than a haunted McDonald's. And this has been an episode of ExtraNormal Podcast. We're gonna cut it off here. We've been going for a little bit. You can find us as a podcast on Instagram at ExtraNormal Podcast, on Twitter at ExtraNormalP. You can follow us on Twitch and YouTube, like and subscribe. You can email us if you have any stories loaded up, extranormalpodcast@gmail.com to give us any of your stories. We have a Patreon page that we don't pay attention to, but we would love it if you could help us out and help become a supporter. I believe it's patreon.com /extranormal podcast. That would be great. Brianna, where can they find you?
Darling Dolly with an O.
You had to think about that.
I did. Because I'm not even on that account very much. But yeah, or just like write us. Like I actually love watching like on our YouTube channel. I love seeing like all the like wonderful comments. We've gotten some really wonderful people on there. So yeah, just write us some information, topics you want us to talk about, and
give us topics.
Yeah, we have some people actually did. We got to go back and
we've gotten some suggestions. We'll look at it.
So we appreciate you guys so much for all the love and support and the positivity and for the open-mindedness. So yeah,
and follow us if you're audio only, follow us on all the podcast machines so that you can keep track of when the latest and greatest comes out. Perry, can they find you anywhere? Or do you not?
So you can find me on my Only's fan.
Mm-hmm.
I'll leave that a link in the description.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
And then maybe next week we'll dip into
Abraham Lincoln's nipples. Is that your OnlyFans?
Abraham's nipples.